Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to another video. This is a reaction to I was completely wrong about autumns in America, or fall as Americans say. I don't know how I didn't react to this video before, because I find myself reacting to the majority of Lost in the Pond's videos, and this is over a year ago I think, and I just happened to have not reacted to it, so I thought, why not do it now? And yeah, we're going to check this out and see what he was wrong about. I guess he's going to go into the differences with England or Great Britain. Maybe, I don't know if maybe that's not the focus of this video and it's just focusing on things that he was just wrong about in general. But we're going to check this out, hopefully going to enjoy, hopefully you're doing well, and let's jump into this video.
Autumn is here, the humidity of summer now a distant memory, like the tribulations of my youth or fidget spinners.
What's scary is this summer's over. I mean, I know this isn't how it works. Summer's over in 10 days time. I know, I think it's actually technically over in like the 20th of September or something, but I just judge it from August is the summer month, September's an autumn month. How the hell is it already nearly over? Flipping hell, man. It's just crazy how like quick time really goes, man. And in like a click of a finger, it's going to be dark at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and depressing. You know, it's going to be Christmas soon. I don't know why I'm jumping so far ahead, but I just find it wild how summer's pretty much done.
I love autumns in the Midwest. It's a time when Americans come together to enjoy pumpkins, quaff apple cider, and overdo it on the flannel shirts. But when I first moved to the United States from England, my view of Midwestern autumn was quite different. You want to know why? Here's Lawrence from 2008 to tell you why.
Hi, I'm Lawrence from 2008, a time when I had way better eyesight. One day, my wife and I were lying on a blow-up mattress at my parents' house, plotting an unexpected move to a country called the United States.
Back then, I was a wee little nipper. Some have speculated as young as 26. My worldview was so small it could fit inside a matchbox. Not literally, that would be really weird.
But like I said, I was 26. I thought I knew better than the very people who had guided me through my youth. You know, like my mum, my dad, Mr. Miyagi. I thought that I was making the right move, that life in the good old US of A would be a doddle, a walk in the park, a breeze. In my mind, all I'd have to do was show up, flash my accent, and America would make me their monarch. When I stepped off the plane, I found myself in the bountiful kingdom of Indiana. The date was November 10th, 2008, the middle of autumn, except something wasn't right.
And I'm not talking about the usual reasons that people feel that way when visiting Indiana. I'm talking about the weather. It was absolutely freezing, and I know what you're thinking. Ooh, Lawrence, why do the British always exaggerate the weather? But here's the thing, I wasn't. Historical weather records for Indianapolis confirm that my 11 p.m. arrival time coincided with temperatures of 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Quite literally the freezing point of water and nose hair.
Already alarm bells were going off, which is a particular
In autumn? Jeez. In Indiana? Wait, what's going on? Is it that cold in Indiana in autumn?
problem when you're leaving an airport. This didn't feel like the autumns I'd always known. In fact, my initial belief was that things were completely and utterly a little bit not good.
Not 9 hours earlier, I'd been in London, where average November temperatures are typically 17 degrees warmer than those of my current predicament.
Jeez.
It's often said that first impressions are everything. For a couple of years afterwards, I clung to the false notion that the Midwest didn't even have an autumn, that it cruelly transitioned from summer to winter, bringing November temperatures that aren't entirely fit for humans. But it turns out there were two glaring problems with this assessment. Firstly, the date of my arrival had simply seen an anomaly, with average November temperatures relatively on par with my hometown of Grimsby. Secondly, Indiana's actual winters make 32 degrees seem like a fortnight in Cancun, but that's another story.
And so a few years later, I woke up one morning and went a bit heavy on the exposition.
Right, so given that the Midwest doesn't not have autumns, I suppose that I, the chief protagonist of this story, have just realised that the Midwest does in fact have autumns. What are you looking at?
fine, but as the years rolled on, like this toilet paper falling down steps for some reason, I noticed something. Americans didn't just experience autumn, some made it their entire personality.
They willingly consumed something by the name of pumpkin-laced souffle.
I still don't even know what pumpkin spice is. I mean, it's pumpkin spice, isn't it? But like lattes and stuff. But is it only sold during autumn? Is that a thing? I assume it's probably not, because I feel like it's a really popular option, especially in the US. But is it only for autumn? Maybe it is.
Pumpkin spice latte?
Same thing.
Their homes became temporary showcases for the colour orange, largely so that their Instagram feeds could do the same.
And real champions of autumn all had one thing in common. They all had doormats bearing the words "Happy Fall, y'all." As an English person, the sight of Americans worshipping at the altar of autumn was jarring at first. For me, the season had always been about moaning about damp leaves or burning effigies down at the beach, or sometimes both at the same time.
But then I remembered something, a challenge I'd laid down to myself while I myself laid down on that mattress. When you move there, try to embrace everything that life throws at you, except raccoons. One day after leaving work, I decided to walk home via Lincoln Park rather than catching the L.
I wanted to be by myself and shut out the world for a bit, so I put on my headphones and listened to something relaxing, like BBC Sounds number 24, for example.
As the crisp autumn air filled my lungs, I became entranced by the sight of a single leaf slowly falling to the ground.
As it reached its destination, I realised it was one of thousands. The colour palette leaned heavily into green and orange, like the Irish flag or the head of an Oompa Loompa.
Absent the English drizzle, there was something elevated, perhaps even magical, about this American scene.
In Indiana, where the leaves of Brown County are admittedly among the best in the Midwest, I didn't get out as much as I do in Chicago, at least not on foot.
In Lincoln Park, those same feet moved through the leaves like wind from a panther's arse.
Except the general aroma was pleasant, similar in nature to the autumns of my youth. Back home, there was always something particularly spellbinding about this time of year. It probably helped that Halloween, Guy Fawkes, and my birthday all fell within days of each other. And while Americans aren't known for letting off fireworks on November 5th, the country is no stranger to autumn festivities in autumn. That last word was redundant. Between October 31st and December 31st, America turns into one giant party. You've got Halloween, Thanksgiving, Hanukkah, Christmas Day, Kwanzaa, New Year's Eve, and the birthday of the greatest president of all time, Bill Pullman. With such an array of festivities, it's little wonder that my own birthday often gets forgotten. In fact, in 2020, I even missed it myself. Mind you, of course, that was the year that a certain something spread around the world. Yep, monoliths. Do you not remember? Strange monoliths started showing up around the globe. Actually, come to think of it, since the first one was spotted in Utah, I haven't been the same. It's like I've become this entirely different person, right? Always asking myself, am I really here? Do I actually exist? What exactly are hands?
No, my dear Lawrence, it wasn't the monolith
going
that did
on?
that. That was just some art students mucking about. The spell was cast on you by somebody else entirely.
Why is he from Yorkshire? I'm so confused.
I've been doing a lot of thinking recently, and I don't think that I can put this off any longer. I've decided that I'm going to change my name.
To what?
To Paul Pumpkin Cheeks.
What is going on? I'm so confused. Why is he gone back? Why is he from Sheffield again? Or from Yorkshire? From Yorkshire?
Now, I do realise that this might come as a shock to my audience, who will nonetheless appreciate the improvements to my face. But please reserve your judgment until the end, by which time I'll be gone and Lawrence will return. For now, I'm the embodiment, if you will, of autumn, at least in the eyes of this daft pillock. Basically, the backstory here is that Lawrence accidentally took a sip of pumpkin fried souffle.
Pumpkin spice latte?
And he instantly turned into Paul Pumpkin Cheeks. Now, while this might sound like his accent's changing, his accent's changed. What do I do? Now, while this might sound like it were premeditated by somebody close to Lawrence, it did give the YouTube sensation the final jolt that he needed to finally embrace autumns in the Midwest. What I'm saying is it was premeditated by his wife.
The face comes and goes, almost literally at the minute. My journey from autumn denier to literal fall guy has been long, arduous, and fraught with cinnamon. But on reflection, when you take into account the oppressive humidity of the Midwestern summer, not to mention the cruel freeze of its wintry sister, fall represents something of a middle child, which is probably why I neglected it for so long. And just like the monoliths of 2020, the season completely disappears before you can say, open the pod bay door.
Why did he just cut out? Was that on purpose? I think it was, but...
Why didn't you tell me I had my glasses on?
that was something else. That was something else. Autumn is my favourite season. I feel like autumn's probably my... I don't want to say least favourite. I think spring's like... Mid-spring's nice because like you start getting warm, but it's not too hot. It's like you're finally getting all the colour back and stuff. Winter's just depressing. I can't lie. Like winter is just a bit depressing. Like it's cold, it's dark. There's not really many positives other than you don't feel like a complete schmuck just genuinely just staying at home and doing nothing, because when you go out it's just not fun. But like when it's summertime and you don't go out, you sort of feel a bit like just wasting your sort of days away and stuff. But I don't know. Early autumn's always quite nice here because it's still quite hot in the UK. Like September is typically always one of the warmer months anyway. Sometimes I'll find September's actually warmer than June or maybe even like May and stuff. So July. So yeah, I don't necessarily mind early autumn, but then when it starts getting cold and more depressing, I don't know. I like it when I'm inside because I don't have to deal with my house being too hot, but then at the same time it is just very depressing outside. But my favourite, I'd say probably my favourite is like mid-spring. Summer, I like summer. Summer has definitely the most positives to me in the UK, especially because it doesn't get extremely hot here, so it's tolerable. But yeah, I'd say summer for me is my favourite. Sorry, mid-spring or summer or early autumn, and then I guess Christmas time. That's always a nice time as well. So that part of winter as well. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this reaction, and I guess let me know what your favourite seasons are. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Until next time, like, subscribe, and peace.